Greetings, friends. My name is Anna Nichenko, and now we will dive in the top news of this day. Today, the world celebrates International Children's Day, but there is nothing to celebrate in Ukraine. We cry for Ukrainian children. According to UNICEF, Russia has killed over 500 children in Ukraine since the start of the full-scale invasion. But the figure may be even higher. Russian invaders have injured almost 1,000 children, leaving them with both visible and invisible scars that could last a lifetime. Russia is also carrying out the world's largest child abduction operation in modern history. The aggressor state continues to deport Ukrainian children from temporarily occupied territories. Approximately 19,500 children are currently being held in Russia after being forcibly deported from Ukraine, according to rough estimates. Many were illegally handed over to Russian families for adoption and sent to re-education camps. Some became victims of child trafficking and sexual violence. The adoption and deportation of Ukrainian children by Russia is part of the larger ethnic cleansing campaign. The Kremlin tries to deny the existence of Ukrainian identity, history, and culture by stealing Ukrainian children. Russia is attempting to literally rob Ukraine of its future. According to the 1948 Genocide Convention, one of the definitions of a genocide is the forcible transfer of children from one national group to another with the intent of erasing identity and destroying a national group. Russian genocide perpetrators will face justice.
Це триває 15 місяців. Російська агресія,
For 15 months, Russian aggression and terror have been destroying not just buildings, but fundamental human rights, the fundamental rights of our children, the right to a safe environment, the right to education, the right to development, the right to health care, the right to rest, leisure, and most importantly, the inalienable and most important right of a child to life.
Ukrainian children who have been stolen or illegally deported must be returned home, and all those who have committed crimes against them must be brought to justice. In particular, those war criminals who launched ballistic missiles at Kyiv that night. As a result of the attack that night, one child died. A children's polyclinic, 2 schools, and a kindergarten were damaged. Such is the day of protection of children from Russians. Russia has increased its drone and missile attacks on peaceful Ukrainian cities. As I already said, a girl died in Kyiv at night. Besides her, her mother and another woman died. On May 26, 4 people were killed and 32 others were injured and varying degrees of severity as a result of a Russian strike on a hospital in Dnipro. Many other cities came under attack over May. Russia has also significantly increased its attacks on the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. Their number went from a few per week last month to a few drone and missile barrages per day right now. The reason for Russia's increased attacks is obvious. Russia is losing the war on the battlefield and has resorted to terrorizing civilians. Constant barrages of drones and missiles show Russia's desperate desire to reclaim the initiative through terror. Russia's attacks, no matter how frequent they become, cannot be considered normal. They are all war crimes that must be stopped by strengthening Ukraine's air defense, including with F-16s, and defeating Russian aggression as such. Each Russian attack aimed at depleting Ukrainian air defense can only have one response: increased production and supply of air defense systems and ammunition by European Union and NATO partners. And this is exactly what President Zelensky's entire diplomatic team is working on. We will defeat another Russian terror strategy by working together with partners.
Працюємо над тим, щоб друга половина цього тижня
We are working to make the second half of this week meaningful for our relation with partners. Our international team is doing everything to ensure that this week ends with the news Ukraine needs. And now I thank the United States of America, President Biden personally, both parties of Congress and every American, everyone who values freedom, for a new defense package for our warriors. Missile for Patriots, rockets for HIMARS, artillery and other strongly needed weapons. Needed right now.
According to Information Resistance Group, in the period from April 28th to May 29th, Russia launched 198 missiles, excluding anti-aircraft, anti-radar. 177 of them were intercepted, and it's almost 90%. Among them, 126 Ha-101 and Ha-555, 28 caliber, 16 Iskander, all 7 Kinjal missiles, and none on Ha-22. The last rocket is a very difficult target, but can only be used as an element of terror due to low accuracy. The situation with the most civilian casualties in Dnipro, Uman, and Vinnytsia are Ha-22. This anti-ship missile was put into service in 1968, and its main target should be aircraft carriers. But the dwelling houses are so similar to the ships, right? The Russians. Ukraine expects NATO allies to take a strong step toward Ukraine's membership at the NATO summit in Vilnius on July 11-12. Ukraine needs a clear algorithm for joining the alliance. We actively work together with our closest NATO partners to forge allied consensus.
I addressed all 31 NATO foreign ministers ahead of their informal meeting in Oslo. 3 steps to make Vilnius summit a success. First, strengthen Ukraine-NATO institutional ties and assistance. Second, take a step towards UA membership. Third, provide security guarantees on US path to NATO. Dmytro Kuleba, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, on Twitter.
The future of the Euro-Atlantic community is being decided on Ukraine's front lines. Ukrainians have proven to be a brave, resilient and powerful nation in the face of full-fledged Russian aggression. As a NATO member, Ukraine will significantly strengthen the security of the entire Euro-Atlantic community. Russia is attempting to demolish the very foundation of the post-World War II security order. This is why the stakes for the entire Euro-Atlantic community are so high. We all need a strong NATO capable of maintaining peace and stability in Europe and elsewhere. Ukraine's accession will help achieve this objective of long-term strategic stability and security. The summit in Vilnius provides an excellent chance for allies to act. It's time to put double-think to an end. NATO needs Ukraine just as much as Ukraine needs NATO. That concludes today's video. Stay updated, subscribe to our UATV English channel for more news from Ukraine. Your support really matters. Goodbye.